Welcome to the farm. So we are out here at the very back of the property in the wildest spot that we call the meadow. And this is a space that is a literal sea of wildflowers and grasses that when the slightest breeze comes through, they just dance and it feels like almost like ocean waves. It is so magical. So this is the place that I kind of come and escape when things get kind of stressful or intense, because May is the tipping point on the farm. It is the most, that feels like acting. Okay, stop recording. I live my life connected to nature, season by season, month by month, day by day. It's a continually updating story of learnings and lessons, the rhythm of the land, of this place as I experience it. In May, dawn comes early and the morning air still has a chill. Soil is being turned over and prepared for planting. The hoop houses are covered with plastic and irrigation lines laid down. We haul hundreds of pounds of trays to the field, and bending on hands and knees, we help thousands of tiny seedlings make their way into the ground. The days are long, our backs ache, and sometimes I feel like we can barely crawl home, every ounce of energy spent. But it's worth it. The entire farm is awash with green. Everywhere I look, energy is pushing forth, starting to express itself. Iris sway softly, peonies peek out, and sweet peas climb their trellises. Even after 25 years of doing this, it still feels like a miracle when I see my old friends again. The meadow isn't just waking, it's exploding. A sea of daisies dancing in the breeze, punctuated by towering spikes of purple lupin. The frogs call to one another, and the dawn chorus wakes me each morning, reminding me it's another day to live my passion. Hands in the dirt, heart in the work. This is when it all begins, the tipping point, the moment when possibility becomes reality. This is May at Floret.
I think you're here.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So this is us.
All right. I got to go back to Aaron. And it's recording. I don't have to hit record on my end, right, Chris?
Nope, it's going.
All right. People full screen. Things are happening. All right. We're doing the vlog.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know Rob already, this is Rob Finch, and he was the director of Growing Floret both seasons, and we have worked together for 4 going on 5 years now.
Yeah, it's actually been 6 years since I met you guys in 2019.
Really?
Well, it's better to
Wow.
Yeah, time flies.
Yeah, it does. We've been talking about this idea of documenting a year on the farm for a long time, and we're just gonna begin to start just recording what is happening on the farm every month for a whole year, allowing people to come here and share that magic with us and the team, and just to be part of the rhythm that is Floret.
What is May at Floret in a nutshell?
Like, what does it feel like? What does it look like?
What is the activity like?
I mean, May at Floret is busy. It is just one thing after the next thing after the next thing, and we are cruising. It's like you're being squeezed or like torn in half, like you're being pulled and pushed from all sides. Everything is competing for your attention. We started over 80,000 seedlings. They're thirsty, they're hungry, they need to get in the ground, but then the weather is not cooperating, so you have to wait. And then you have the birds pulling the seedlings out of the ground if they're too young, and you have to open all the greenhouses in the morning and close them all at night.
How much do you love getting water in your boot? You pretty much have a phobia about wet socks.
Tens of thousands of plants are going into the ground every week.
That's a butt kicker. They look all fresh. I feel very hot and sweaty.
So we just finished the Shire.
Just finished, so 24 down. How many to go? 90? More?
It's a weird month. Everything's still tender and new, and it's not hardened off, and it's not tough yet. And you don't want to go too soon, but if you wait too long, everything's going to get backed up and you're going to get behind. And so there's all of this pressure and momentum behind you. It's almost like kindergarten, you know, like you're like still trying to protect your babies, but they're going into the real world. It's a dance with the weather and the plants and the people, and it's like you just, who's leading? You don't quite know.
Okay, what's going on?
Hailing.
It's hailing.
Yeah.
You gotta yell.
What?
You gotta yell.
It feels like the end of the day, you're just kind of on your elbows, like, oh man, we made it through another day. I do not know how I'm gonna do tomorrow. That I would say in a nutshell is May. And then everywhere you look, it's just green and lush and so abundant. It's like an overwhelming amount of abundance. Tail end of April into early May is really when you start to hear the frog songs, and I feel like that is the real indicator that spring is here.
Okay.
No, I got it.
Okay. Let's go.
To me, that feels like it's finally warm enough. It's finally spring. The frogs are kind of like I don't know, they're like the little switch.
So all of the hoops on this side are getting prepped. Francisco, Jakin, Alicia, Rosario, maybe Eric and Nikki, I'm not sure. They were helping us with dahlias, but they got all the plastic on. All of these hoops, compost is down. So these are gonna be where a bunch of breeding stuff goes. We don't plant for a few more weeks, but look at how many they did. Oh, you can see there's this whole block. And over here, they're getting the doors on. Sorry, I hope you're not getting car sick, but there's a lot going on out here. Look at this. Francisco and Jakin are amazing. Look at those. They've just taught themselves how to do so many things.
Maybe this is a naive non-farmer question, but do things break a lot?
Things break so much on the farm. If we didn't have Chris and Jakin and Francisco, we would be sunk. I would say every day there's some major repair. So being handy on a farm, I think you're the MVP. You'd think it would be the labor, like who's the fastest, who gets the most in the ground. No, who can fix the most things.
I'll wait till I get that plugged in.
What is it?
I'll wait till I get the line plugged in before I give it a yay. Oh, sorry.
tags, Nikki?
Yes, I'm making 1 million tags.
1 million?
1 million! So that alone
Oh,
is
that's
like,
the hand cross project.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
that alone is 200 field stakes just for that. And the rest of these are just organized by location first, and then sow date and alphabetical, which hopefully, in theory, matches the way that they're organized in the greenhouse.
In theory.
In theory.
Yeah.
Should be. And planting order. You know, best laid plans.
All right, today is the first day. Am I talking to the camera or you? Probably the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Go camera.
So today is the very first day we are planting zinnias on the farm. So we're starting with what we call the Shire, which is all these little mini isolation greenhouses up by the barn. We're earlier than we would normally plant outside, but we can go into these hoops. So Eric and I are staging the different varieties in the hoops. Nikki's making labels in the barn, and then Alicia, Rosario, and Leslie are following behind planting, and then Francisco and Jakin are prepping beds ahead of us. So it's kind of a whole tag team assembly line.
Más como 2.5 pulgadas.
Yes.
You're not messing around, are you?
Look at all these beautiful zinnias. So we're staging, we're having a planting party where everybody on our team is coming today. Here they come. Reinforcements are here and you're on camera. I mean, when you have a whole group of people that works well together, each taking a piece and collaborating in that kind of a way, you can get so much momentum. It's definitely a team effort, and it's an orchestra, and each one of us is doing a different part. Layered on top of each other, you really get this momentum, and then at the end of the day, all the trays are picked up, all the soil is knocked out of them, they're stacked, they're put away, the buggies are put away, everything's washed out, and then we're done for that day. And then you get pizza.
Pizza time.
There's always pizza. Like, you know, one of those big planting days, like you gotta have something to look forward to, or a root beer float.
Love my life.
Here's Aaron. Okay.
We're all done. I'm gonna go count how many empty trays we have. We got 17,000 of them in the ground. We've got a ways to go, but we did good. I think we got about 8 hoops filled with baby zinnias. So we're kind of trucking now. Now we're going.
So you've got all this stuff going on. You're juggling a million balls. Like, do you ever just feel like you need a break from it? And if so, like, what do you do to recharge?
Yeah, I mean, the days right now are full. And some days it feels a little like too full. And that's usually when I start to hide. I'll hide behind the hedgerows. I'll hide out in the greenhouse. Or I'll hide in the meadow. Okay, you ready?
Can you even see me?
No, you're gone.
All the sounds of the farm just drown away. The tractor tilling the field over there, the car driving by, you know, someone mowing their lawn, all of it disappears as soon as you get down low. All you can hear is the wind and the grass and the bees and the birds. And then the daisies are moving like it's like the froth of the ocean. You can almost get dizzy if you sit in the middle of it because the whole thing is humming with life. You can feel that it doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to produce. It doesn't have to perform. It doesn't have to,
Oh my gosh.
you know, there's no checklist about it. It just gets to be. And it's my favorite spot on the farm, especially in May.
I've already found 4.
It's funny that it is at its peak moment when the farm is also at its peak moment of chaos and stress and intensity. It's also when the meadow is the most beautiful and the most calming. You kind of forget about all of the things that you have to do, and it's very grounding. It's a very settling place to be.
Just watching out for birds' nests. Because you can hear all those sparrows out here.
Starting to freak out.
Yeah, they're kind of panicking.
Yeah.
Don't want to step on anybody's nest.
When we first got the farm, it was just this blank, open, empty field. We had never had so much land to be able to work with. And it was definitely more than we needed, more than we could use. And so finally, it felt like we had the opportunity to not have everything in production.
Oh, okay, there must be a nest right there. That guy just came out.
Kind of give them back to nature. The idea is that the songbirds that are ground nesting like sparrows have a place to make their nest. And then we have all of these beautiful flowers for all of the pollinators, that it's an early bloom in the season.
Well, one of the big things that I learned from Becky, which no one talks about here, is nesting season. And that's where all of the songbirds are making their nests, laying their eggs, hatching, and then teaching their young how to fly. And so many of the songbirds are ground nesters. And by leaving places not cut and more wild like this, they are safe to make their nests in this tall grass, and then they can raise their young and they'll fledge, and then, you know, there are more birds here on the farm. So having places that are wild like this for the ground nesters is really important if you're wanting to invite songbirds into your garden or on your farm. So we won't mow this space until probably, I'd say early July. We'll give it one big mow to help all the seeds that have formed drop and resprout. No, stop.
No, I love it.
I mean, our meadow's growing.
The first year was a total fail. We sowed them in the spring, so we prepared all the ground. Chris went out there and we flung all the seeds everywhere.
Planting our meadow. Just wait, this is gonna be so beautiful.
And then it was bone dry, no rain at all, and nothing sprouted.
And look, there's seed dropping from this.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Come on, babies, you can do it.
It was nothing, and we felt like total failures and thought, okay, we're gonna have to reseed this all. But then the rains came in the autumn, and it started to green up, and then you could see little tiny leaves of the lupin starting to sprout. The hedgerows, like the meadow, last year this time we were having a drought, nothing was sprouting.
You serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think that's one of my superpowers, is finding 4-leaf clovers. Oh man, the meadow looks spectacular, doesn't it? Holy cow! I love it out back. It's so wild out here.
And all these trees. I mean, look at that. And the daisies match the snow-capped mountain. I mean,
There's like, I think there's 2 porta potties way back there. Where'd you go?
here. This is beautiful. And then now it is at its like full peak. There's so many different kinds of grasses. I don't remember seeing these, do you?
Mm-mm.
Let's see, that one. Gotta look up all the different ones we ordered. That one.
I know. There's a bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the grass is way ahead of the
Oh,
blue.
look.
What is it? No, are you serious?
Yeah. I don't exactly know how I would measure the impact of the meadow yet. I'll just pick a little bouquet of everything I find. When we first got the farm, there were no songbirds because there was nowhere for them to hide, nowhere for them to perch. There was no real food source out there. It was quiet. Oh, another one. And now it is so loud. All you hear are birds and bees and the hum of life. If we could measure that, just the sound of it alone, I think that's how you could tell how much life is there.
When we went to England and we heard the dawn chorus and all that, it was just insanely loud, but
Yeah.
awesome. And
I know, I remember you
yeah.
saying, I want the farm to sound like that. How do we do that?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's see how many different things I just found. Another?
Oh my gosh, you're on a roll.
Let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Love it. Oh,
Nuh-uh.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're telling your own one?
Same.
Hey.
Your personal projects, what are you most excited about that you're working on right now?
Oh man. Okay, so documentation, which is a huge part of what I do each season. Taking notes, observing, testing different flower varieties, photographing them, that really begins, I would say, full on in May. I finished up daffodils, have moved into lilacs, and so really worked with all the new lilacs that are coming in that we haven't documented before. I've done those. Peonies are just budding, they're about to blow, and I have a ton that I have to do. Cutting garden, I'm trialing all of these new perennials. My personal projects, a lot of those are around the documentation. Stop filming me!
I'm getting you working in the garden.
I'm wearing a horrible outfit. A lot of pictures, a lot of notebooks, a lot of notes, a lot of mess. And I mean, this is my favorite thing. Something about cataloging, like documenting and cataloging things that are alive and collecting, there's something about that that I just obviously can't get enough of. This one's called Double Pink Dandy.
You almost fall.
I almost fell backwards.
When you do all the documentation and you do your research projects and you do your things that are kind of like, mad scientist or something like that, when you're just following your passions to take you to do what you are interested in, how much do you think that stuff guides the direction of the farm and Floret in general?
I think that it ends up being what we do down the road. So today I am bringing home the knowledge from our trip to Oregon, where we visited Shriners and Mid-America Gardens. All right, you guys, so tonight we are at Shriners Iris Garden, and I'm gonna try to whisper because there are other people in the garden and I'm kind of embarrassed. I got to learn firsthand how to do iris hybridizing. So step one, I'm going to remove the petals from the flower that I want to cross onto. So I get any buds that are on the side out of the way, peel back the paper, and then get all those big petals off of there. And then I found a variety somewhere else in the garden where I really like the flower color. And this is a variety called Bellini. This is magical, this is Bellini. And so I take the petals off of this guy, and what we're doing is we're looking for, see that? That is where the pollen is. So we're just peeling off the petals to reveal that. So just get the petals gently out of the way. And then I'm gonna take them off one at a time, carefully. And then you grab the little lip of the iris you want to cross onto, and you swipe this down, and you can see it deposits the pollen. It's pretty cool. Painting with nature. What we're doing now is going to be the future of what I want to be working on. Okay, now we wait and see. And some of those things, I don't know like what that's going to become. Like right now, really focused on collecting different plant collections. Oh, that smell. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't want to start a nursery. That's not what I'm thinking. I just know that I need to collect these plants and I need to hold on to them. Pretty ridiculous, huh? Mm-hmm. I know in 3 or 4 years that's going to be something. And it's probably going to be something that could possibly have a positive impact, but I just can't see over that kind of hill or whatever, but I just keep going. But you could track it. It will be something. Okay, I got the best mail today. So there is a shortage of specialty plant nurseries right now. And many of the sources for old roses and kind of more old-fashioned heirloom plants, they're disappearing rapidly. So when we started developing the farm about 6 or 7 years ago, I think I had 9 different sources for lilacs. This is the last source that I know of in the country that has larger quantities of lilacs, and she is closing business this year. So this is Hope Springs Nursery. She's on the East Coast, and I ordered 3 or 4 of everything. Look at these babies. Look at that. Frederick Law Olmsted. We've got Zanamira Lenina. Oh my goodness. His sister Justina, that's a beauty. Look at these little cuties. I started becoming aware that many of the specialty nurseries were disappearing. The people that are heading up those nurseries are retirement age or older, and there's no succession plan. Lilacs are one of the groups of plants that have lost all of the sources. There is one single source for lilacs left that will ship plants anywhere in the country, and there are a few left where you could like go there in the spring and buy pots of plants if you lived closely. 2 of them just went on the market this week, up for sale. One in New York and one in California. These are like the last nurseries in the country. And I think everybody's
thought I've been exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. The properties are actually listed online now. They're for sale. It's just one after the next after the next. So it's with roses, it's with lilacs, it's with crab apples. I mean, we're losing specialty nurseries at such an alarming rate. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, how could you be down to just one single source? I don't know what to do about it yet, but I'm just collecting plants, like, very seriously. And lilacs is like my main target right now. I've got 143 varieties and climbing. Little there out. I feel responsible. I feel like the responsibility, like I feel this level of, like this weight, this pressure to figure this out. That scared me. That would have been good if it got you. Okay. That seems good, yeah? I'm so happy that they're like here. That's exciting. They feel happy to be here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to your new family.
Wow, you just went for it, didn't you?
Well, it's the last hurrah. And then I'm gonna go put flowers on everybody's desk in the house. Because that'll be a nice little treat. I was remembering when we were little and my mom and my Aunt Terry would they had this little crappy brown pickup truck that was my grandpa's. It was kind of like our white truck. And I remember them driving down the alleys in Walla Walla, Eastern Washington, when the lilacs were blooming. And one of them was driving and one of them was standing in the back just loppering off branches into the truck. And I remember them decorating the whole top, all the top of the piano and all around on all the tables to surprise my grandma with fresh lilacs. And I remember my Aunt Terry saying, "Stolen lilacs smell the sweetest."
We call this the private garden, but we're getting some compost down. Francisco's freshening up some beds here, and we're gonna try and use this to finish out the seed saving book. Erin
Not get me struggling with a 50-pound bag.
Erin doesn't want me to show her struggling lifting things.
So there's a spot behind our house that we call the private garden, which sounds so fancy, but it's really just this little plot that we planted hedgerows around. It has a little tiny greenhouse. And it seems like that's the space I put anything really, really special that I want to work on for that season. All right, so Chris is rototilling. Compost is down. Fertilizer is in. Oh man, this would be so magical back here. This year in the private garden, we have devoted half of it to all of the seed varieties that are part of a seed saving book that we're working on. All right, this right here is the future of a seed saving book. So these are not all, but a lot of the varieties that we are going to be showing folks how to save seed from. So all the babies are started. Outlines written, many notes are taken. So that's what the beginning of something looks like. Pretty simple and small, huh? Wrinkled Crinkled comes with us, right? And Atraxa?
Yeah.
Okay.
amazing gray goes to the seed garden.
Yeah, I think there's also others in there, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, totally. Who knows? It's a big day. So we planted the exact same amount of each variety so that we can compare. If you grew 25 plants or 35 plants of these, this is the harvest you'd get from them.
Are you happy so far where this is at?
Yeah. It's always good when the math works out. You know, when you mapped it and then you bring it out and you're like, no, it fits. We're not crazy. It's cool. It's gonna be very helpful. We need to photograph them, take our notes, and then harvest them, and then document the process of harvesting each one all the way through to picking, drying, threshing, cleaning for all 70 plus varieties. We're wanting to make seed saving more approachable. How do you do this in your backyard? What does that look like, and what does that scale feel like? And then on the other half of the garden, we just need a little vegetable garden.
Okay, this is my favorite kind of thing. Look at this. Tomato plants, $5 each. And they've got all these different ones. This is a little roadside stand in Conway, Washington.
So much of our work, I mean, it's all flowers, really. It's all beautiful. We have berries and stuff planted around the farm and trees, but we don't grow a lot of food. Chris loves to eat. He loves to walk around eating. And so, I don't know, I just wanted to bring some kind of, just a little bit of different energy into the mix, a little slowing down and, I don't know, taking time to, I don't know, do something that's just for us.
Didn't you also have another? Hold on a second. My leg is falling asleep. What's the duck status?
The duck status is good. So we got a new batch of babies, and this on a farm, working animals just don't always last forever. You hear them? Still cute. So they arrive in this little box with holes in it, still warm, and then we'll go to the car. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know if you're like legally allowed to film post office stuff. Is this cool? We try our best to protect all of the creatures, but occasionally they disappear. We use ducks for slug patrol on the farm, and so we got our new batch of baby ducks. We usually get them every spring. Okay, so the kinds that we got, let's see if I can figure this out. So there are 2 black runners in here. I'm guessing it's this one and this one. One is a male. Okay, then we've got blue runners. Both of them are female. They're not really blue, they're kind of a beautiful gray. Hi, babies. Okay, then we've got, okay, these ones, you've got to Google this. Look up white crested ducklings. So that little fluff on the top is going to turn into a little white, like, hairdo on the top of their head, this little dome. They're so stinking cute. Definitely going to be big, I think.
Okay, look, you're already getting the hang of it.
There's nothing cuter than baby ducks, like learning how to swim and learning how to forage, and it's darling.
I love bird culture at Floret.
I know. And birds are a big part of life here. Like there's the outdoor birds, and then the ones that we're tending, you know, I mean, there's a lot of birds. I had this idea, like we've planted all these hedgerows and created all these spaces that are safe for the local birds. We're trying to bring in more songbirds, but we didn't have any bird houses. And so we started researching it and what kind of birds do we want to attract and bring to the farm and that kind of thing. And so I got a book on bird houses and I showed it to Francisco and Jakin,
kind of joking, but kind of not. Like, these are the ones I'd like. And so we had some downtime in the winter. And those two got out all the old scrap wood and like all these things that they could find around the farm and started building birdhouses. But they're not any birdhouses. They followed the specs, the hole size, the box dimensions.
Looks awesome.
But then they have a tiny chimney on them. And then Jakin like burned like little windows on them. They are the cutest. They look like a little fairy village. They ended up making, I don't even know, 30, 40 different bird houses and bat houses and duck houses and robin houses. So they made a lot of kinds of houses. Aren't those so cute? I mean, they're just making these up. One of the things I loved the most about it was seeing Francisco and Jakin's creative side come out. Like, they're not just following the plans in the book, they're adding their own flair, their own spin. And there is a thumbprint on each one. Like, they're made from the heart, which I really love. And finally this spring, we got to put up all the birdhouses around the farm. So we got these big metal pipes sunk them into the ground. They're all at the right amount of feet off the ground for that type of bird. And you had to space them all so many feet apart from each other. It was kind of complicated.
How are the birds adapting to them?
A lot of the birds are like checking them out. You can tell they're sort of suspicious. I think they're gonna eventually, it's gonna work out.
Staying on the bird theme.
Mm-hmm. Dawn chorus.
Dawn chorus.
Yep.
Yeah. This is like bird month, it seems like.
This is bird month.
Yeah. Between ducks, bird houses, the meadow, bird nesting. Yeah.
The dawn chorus is the point in the morning before the sun comes up where all of the birds are waking up and they are starting to sing. I mean, it really starts in April, but I feel like in May is when it's the most powerful, it's the most loud. If you are awake that early, which I am, because I get up at 4, you can hear the bird song starting to build and get louder and louder and louder. And right about when the sun rises, it breaks. That is like my favorite way to sort of wake up, is to just that building and building and building of the sound. And then it's done. And then it's time for the day to begin. It's really beautiful. Last spring, Jim, a friend of ours who did all the sound for Growing Floret, he came up and recorded the dawn chorus with this big, like, how would you describe that?
It's like a 360-degree microphone.
Yeah, but it looked like a head of a person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a head. It literally looks like a human head. The idea is that it's like placing yourself in a space, so when you listen to it with headphones on and the proper settings and stuff, it feels like you're there, theoretically.
Yeah. I think that should be someone's alarm. You know how they have those ones that they gets brighter and brighter and brighter? What if dawn chorus was your alarm? So it's like half an hour and it just gets louder and louder and then eventually wakes you up.
So I was gonna wrap up here. Is there anything else that you want to talk about before we kind of go towards an ending?
I'm really excited about this project and bringing people in to this world in a different way.
This is my view.
Not just having it be one-sided where we're taking our best guess at what we think others would like and then putting it into the world, but actually thinking of this as an interactive, collaborative process between us and the folks that are here at the farm and then the people that are watching. We're making this for you, and we want to make you what you love, and so tell us what you want more of, what you like, what made you happy, what made you cry, what you had questions about. Like, we want to hear it. I'm excited to open a different kind of door.
Look at this.
Feeling fresh, huh?
Yeah. Talk to everybody. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
We want to do this because of the creativity and the sharing of the magic, and also for you.